Hello again, this is the Watering Man. Now, I'm going to do a little bit more on this Matthew chapter 23, verses 3 through 5. Okay? There's one word in there, phylacteries. Now, this is not meant to be exhaustive, but it's to give you a little better understanding of what this is. Okay? And how it's applying spiritually. Not just so you can have a facade outside. Oh, that's like Pharisees. Oh no. And inside they were bitter enemies with Jesus Christ and his cause. Jesus means, as Jesus comes from I-S-O-U-S. Right? I-S-O-U-S. Excuse me. Okay, number 2424 in the concordances of the Bible. Okay? It means Yahweh's salvation. No delays, no elongation, no vows that elongate or delay it, yeah. No putting on their own facade, no, so they can boast in their own phylacteries. It'd be like that in that vision guy, give me that, showed me that big golden chain. Well, they got leather straps on the phylacteries, okay, in a leather box with scriptures in it, the law. But you notice it's on the outside. Okay? I'm just going to give you a little, I've got a page of notes here. It's much more now. Okay? And we'll give you a little better understanding of what this is. It's their pious outward. Look at me, look how great I am. And inside, they're bitter enemies with Jesus Christ and his cause. They're dead man's bones inside that cup that they're shining outside the cup. Jesus told them off in it. They really liked him, didn't they? But see, this was put into motion by the omniscient God before the conception of this orderly arrangement in your mind and the orderly arrangement out here. The foundations of the cosmos, of this outward cosmos and this inner. God's bringing your mind, he's reassembling your mind right back. And you can't do that by putting on no big bunch of facade stuff out here and polishing it all up. See how great I am. How am I? Boasting in yourself. Outward pious works. See, I'm not going to read all that that I did. I've done numerous videos on Pharisees. You can go back and look at them. Man, I've got I think this is about video number 891 or something. Okay? So it's getting up there. Most of them's around 30, 31 minutes. There's a few a little less. But that's a lot of hours of just videos. Not mentioning living it out, existing out. My goodness. And the more you know, the more that you know that there is to know. God's changing that. Just like in that John chapter 4, verse 47. When the nobleman, belonging to God, he's choosing God in this storm. Right? Your soul is thinking. Your flesh is thinking, yuck. Facade stuff is Pharisees, or really truly taking it inside and letting God change it. You're laying prostrate, not trying to mad dog it. Oh no. Not trying to take your General Lee, your chariot, ring, jump it off. I'll get back to God another way. No, you can't. It's not by your might, your power. It's by my spirit, says the Lord. Right? Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. He'll burn this crap up. You say, yeah, God, but I'm wanting to preserve it. I'm wanting to hang on to it. Well, then you're not laying down there prostrate, flat on your face. This is internal. But your works, your hands, your ergon, your efforts out at your side. You're not trying to work it out. Live it out. You're submitting to God. Not submitting, not leaving none of this stuff alive. Don't leave none of it alive. Kill every little baby thought, every little yuck. But you're not doing it. You're doing it by submitting to God, and you're agreeing. You're signing on the contract. I want this stamp of approval from God. The anima, or the shame in the Old Testament. The nature, character, and authority, the mark, the approval of the king. Like those wax seals, they round the message up, put a wax seal on it, and the king put his stamp of approval on it. Meant this is in my nature, character, authority. This king's got a mark too. Like the mark of the beast. 666. It's not the devil outside you. It's this stuff. It's your stinking thinking. It's enmity. It's directly opposed. It's the enemy of you going towards and into God. Agree with God. Be reasonable. Sit my way, my child. Lay that crap down. Become a widow. The poor widow woman. To this red Adamic way. This first Adam that you were married to with your seeing, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, and you had this Adam in a way that was giving you diarrhea. Diarrhea thinking of the mind. Oh man, that stuff's really, really nasty. Formaldehyde, all this stuff. It's no good, it's no good, it's no good. Baby, it's no good. In order for you to grow in the spirit, lay that stuff down, let God kill it, and use that fertilizer, this bullshit thinking. Ooh, yuck. Your own shit's thinking as rocket fuel to bring you back up and give you the love, the ability to love God as He first loved you. Teach you how to speak in the language of God and get nuclear fusion. But you got to get this fission, nuclear fission. Split this spot that God's working on. Much smaller than like an atom. They thought when they named an atom it was the smallest thing, but there's stuff smaller than that. In the natural, it's just showing you. In the spirit, it's going way down. Like down to like, let's say like a Planck leaf. Be 1 e to the negative 35, I think it is. 0.1, you got a 1, move that decimal place. 1 time, 2 times, 0.01, 3 times, move it 35 times. 1/10, 100, 1/1000, 1/10,000. Way up, really, really, really small. And this is no tangible thing. It's in the spirit, right? Now, these Pharisees want to polish off out of their cup, okay? Now let's check this out a little bit deeper, okay? Just give you a little better understanding of this, because you read in the King James, you're probably not, unless you've done some more in-depth stuff, and then take that in these storms and agree with God and drop this stuff like a bad habit and not try to preserve it, not try to keep, like in your Nineveh, your city, your big walled city. It takes 3 days journey to walk across that thing. And it's walled, guarded, grouchy bear syndrome. It's your carnal mind. Ninevite city. You're Nineveh, huh? Go there, like Jonah. He told God. He told Jonah, go there and give my word. Agree with me. Jonah, of course, wait, I'm going to go out here, party time, go to Joppa and have hot dogs and big fishing trip. Well, didn't work out the way he thought. This crap, did it? He bit it hook, line, and sinker and had to go through all kinds of stuff. Don't we do that same thing in our lives? Be reasonable, sit my way, my child. Even after he was vomited up on the beach, out of the belly of that big fish, he still had to go 300 to 500 miles. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. He had to, oh my goodness. Seemed like almost an impossible task, right? He was glad to do it. Get whatever I can just to make it. I didn't have it all. Here, bring in all my servants to feed me and just carry me out, down through here, out through here. Easy peasy way. I don't know. That was pretty treacherous, I'm sure. Can you go through? Have you ever went 300 to 500 miles? Maybe barefooted or just a little bit of sandals on it? Be plumb starved and without water. And just restless, tormented. About choking on salt water, seawater in the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And then vomited up on the beach. Be pretty nasty, dehydrated, thirsty and all get out, hungry. There ain't nothing, a big dinner banquet waiting for you before you go. Just go. But you know, an evil and adulterous generation or age, people nowadays. An evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign. But no sign will be given except the sign of Jonah the prophet. Just do it, my child. Quit your whining. I told you. You heard me. Which way you choose? Well, I might just hold on and preserve this a little bit. And I'll still kind of do what you said, God, but I'm going to hang on to my own righteousness. Because it's good. What bad? This is a good thing. It can help you out. I'll swing you a little bit and kill some of these monsters out here for you, God. Because you can't do it, right? Right. The whole time you're hitting yourself, you're cutting your own legs and stuff with that sword. Be like this phylacteries. I'm condemning everybody, man. It's going. You're not changing at all inside. God's offering in this storm to give you opportunity to split that little bitty thought process. A little bit, not even the whole thought process. Just all the way down into like a plunkly size thought process. Like going from the Earth, expand that one thought process from the Earth to Alpha Centauri, and then look at one little tiny like grain of sand in it. This thing right here is messed up. Well, child, you want me to kill this thing out? You gotta let it down. Submit it totally to me. Become a poor widow to this old red Adamic way, and I'll get it. I'll do all of it. God's telling me this. The battle is the Lord's. It's not yours. Therefore, you got to follow Christ first. Be a servant of all. Servant to God and servant to others. And God will lift you up. He gives increase. You don't give it. All right. Now, let's get into this a little bit more. Now, I already read that verses 1 through 12. And just kind of touched on it a little bit more than touched on it, but I didn't go, it wasn't exhaustive, okay? I'm going to read verses 3 through 5, and we're going to focus a little bit more on that phylacteries, okay? It's still not exhaustive, but it's getting you a lot better understanding, hopefully. Okay. Now, in verse 3 of Matthew chapter 23, it says, this is Jesus speaking to the Pharisees and scribes, bitter enemies of Jesus Christ and his cause. Try to put on all those pious outward works. They focus on this. Do, don't do. And then they condemn other people for not doing it their way. Trying to look like a polished outside cup, look like a pretty boy or pretty girl. And inside's full of all kinds of rotten, nasty, yuck thinking. Denied by God. God's given you an opportunity to let him chop this stuff out, skim it out, way out. Remember in the etymology of Jehovah, which is Yahweh, without the vowels and all that. Comes down to 1961. Hiya! And to cut that short is to bring it into existence, to come into existence by, like a karate chop. Hiya! Chop this stuff out, Father. Shall I chop this out? Shall I skin this out for you? Once I've melted it all out. Huh? God. Yes, sir, Daddy. Lay prostrate. Agree with God, totally. Become a widow to this thing, so that you can be like a pickle. Quit being a cucumber. Eating or thinking. Quit being soulish, duality, double-minded. Come back into the right-mindedness of God. Quit feeding from this tree of knowledge of good and evil. Trying to make up your own mind. Lay down there. Shut up. Be still. Put a muzzle on that dog. You know what I'm putting? Yuck. Red dog. Red anemic thinking. Let God do the work. Quit trying to add your own 2 cents, you scribe. Quit trying to act like you're doing it, and then you're just hanging right onto this way. You even got a box from outside telling you it's all outward work, it's facade. It's not really dealing with that stuff inside. We're saying do. I'm telling you all this stuff about these things that's inside that box on their chest, those phylacteries. But they're not really practicing the inside. They're keeping it outside and saying, man, God's going to do it this way. It has to be this way. And God said, no, I'm going to chop this stuff out, skim it out. If you'll agree with me inside, get genuine piety inside. You're thinking. He's working in this relationship builder in your mind. Not on this outward stuff. Man, we'll set up a kingdom out here and outside. I'll chop just kill all of them bad guys and set you guys on the throne. That's what they thought. And when the true anointed Messiah came, he wasn't doing it that way. Calling them hypocrites for trying to do it that way. You stage performers, you actors, you bullshitters. They didn't like it too much. In fact, they sought to kill him. Right? This was already set in motion by the omnipotent, omnipresent, sovereign King, God, before the foundations of all this stuff, external and internal. God is the greatest. None of this stuff. Bring out what God calls these seeds to grow into his love, the ability to love, to speak in the tongues of God. Love, Racham, to meet his child the way God loves you in its limitless. Bring you into the kingdom. Boom. This fusion, nuclear fusion ball, if you will. Let him split this atom, or this spot, a messed up double-mindedness. Boom. The word of God is sharper than any two-edged sword. Right? You can read that and study it. I've been there showing you a little bit. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. Study it. Don't just quote it and put it in a box on your chest and call it phylacteries and then not do it. Not really. When the rubber's meeting the road, drop this stuff. Submit it. Lay out prostate. Don't quit your old bullshit and whack, and you're trying to, you're nailing God down and calling this is godly stuff. Or I'll hold my breath unless you do it my way, God. You're not submitting to God doing it. Lay prostrate. Be still. Put a muzzle on it. Lay down there. Don't move a muscle. When you're thinking, you don't need to do nothing. Submit to me. God will take care of it. Right? Okay? Now, let's read this again. I don't know if I did or not. In verse Matthew chapter 23, verse 3, 4, and 5, okay? And we're going to focus on this phylacteries a little bit, okay? All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, okay? But do not ye after their works. They're not doing it. Because they say and do not. They say it, but they don't do it. Huh? Just because they got it on a box out there, they're not taking it inside and actually living it out, existing out, choosing God in these storms, dropping this stuff. Now they want to hang on to it and keep it all pious and look good. Keep their foot like on your neck. Huh? Rule over you, okay? Bullshit. Throw the bullshit flag on it, okay? You gotta hurry up. For they, those Pharisees and scribes, bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on the men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them one of their own fingers. One of their fingers. They won't do nothing for you. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They polish those while they cut, right? They make broad their phylacteries. I'll try to get there if I run out of time. Okay? And enlarge the borders of their garments. Okay? This is not exhaustive, but I'm going to open this up a little bit. Now, let's get into this phylacteries. I don't know if I'm probably not going to be able to cover all this stuff, okay? But you'll have to do some. But unless you want me to make like a little series, I can do that. But I'm trying to stay in John 4:47. Okay? Please email me, encourage me, let me know what you think, how we're doing, huh? Okay? Just talk to me. You can do that in private. Email me at Lloyd, LLOYD, TOPPINS, 3, @gmail.com. Okay? Now, phylacteries comes from 5,440. And it's PHYLAKTERION, this word.
Strong's G 5440.
Phylacterion. Phylacterion. Something. I got it close. All right. Now, basically, that's a neuter noun. Okay, and there's I've got all kinds of words taking down derivatives. Okay, I'll see what I can get on that. Okay, there's a whole lot to read on this. I'm probably not going to be able to cover all of it right here in one video, but I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of it. Okay, it's to be like a fortified place provided with a garrison, a station for a guard or garrison, like in that Ninevite city, in the walled cities of little guard towers, guarding your own right-mindedness. Because, I put on all this facade out here, polish it all up, and I'm going to guard it. Instead of guarding God and lay this stuff down and let God bring it up. Be under the safety, the protection of God. The safety and the protection of this thing is worthless. That's bullshit. Gonna keep you right in there, you're being led by that donkey right off the cliff. Or like jump in your General Lee and chariot and do it your way. Hit that magic ramp and jump way out and yee-haw! We'll do it another way, God. And I'll get rich doing it. Okay. Now there's a whole bunch right here. I'm just going to read the very, very first part of this, okay? There's a bunch. It's trying to, a preservative or safeguard, an amulet, a magic amulet. It's this thing around your neck. It's a leather strap like that they wore with all these tassels and all this stuff coming down to a little box that they put in like the law, like in Ezekiel, or not Ezekiel, Exodus chapter 13, verse 1 through 10, and Exodus chapter 13, verses 11 through 16, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9, and Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 13 through 21. See? Jesus telling them to do those things, but they're not doing it. You'll know a tree by the fruit it bears. That stuff they're doing is just polishing outside. So, look how great I am. I'm a big chicken hawk. You got dead man's bones inside your thinking. They're not dealing with it. They're red lighting. Okay? Now. It's basically a guarded case on your chest, like that plaque with the big golden fool's gold around and making poop stains all over them, tarnishing them. It's fake gold. It's not the nature, character, and authority of God. It's their own righteousness. Outward works. They pride themselves on that. They get arrogant and boastful on that stuff. Go look in the Thayer's Greek lexicon. And they're Pharisees. God, dog, man, them cats are crazy. They're modern day, just the same thing. When you're not agreeing with God wholeheartedly, you're doing this stuff. Pharisee, scribe, trying to add your own stuff. Take your own temperature. Come on, all that stuff, right? The worship and all that stuff. All right? Now, just touching on that. Now, that phylacteries, 5440, comes from, it's a neuter derivative of 5442. That's this word.
Strong's G 5442.
Philasso, and that's the verb, okay? And it means to watch, to be on guard, to preserve, to obey, to avoid. Now, in the green way, if you're really habitually practicing green lighting God, you're avoiding that carnal yuck stuff in the storm. You're agreeing with God and dropping this stuff, avoiding that junk, giving it up, surrendering it, not trying to fight it out and say, man, I'm going to go march on it. No, I'm going to condemn you to hell. No, God's not doing that. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. All right. Now, the red way, that Pharisee way, oh my goodness. They're bitter enemies of Jesus Christ and his cause, Yahweh's salvation, right? Avoid internal subjection to God. They avoid getting rid of this dead man's bones in their mind. They just want to polish outside stuff. No, don't do that. That's too private. That's private just for me. And you do what I say, you're going to hell. You're going in the bad corner. A whole bunch of junk, okay? Oh my goodness. They boast in themselves. Their outward appearance, external appearances. Their words, ambulance man, look how great I am. And they put it like in a box. Man, that's what I believe. And they don't do it. They're not agreeing. Everybody slips, but they're not agreeing into God at all. They're taking the red dog way. Okay, I'll ride my General Lee, man. It's a big, nice, fast car. And man, it's the greatest. Right off the cliff. Oh, no, not again. You follow that? Oh, no, it's leading you to destruction, corruption. It's the Broadway. Drop that stuff like a bad habit and let God bring you up. Let God demolish it. Use that for rocket fuel to bring you up. Help you grow into his nature, character, and authority, okay? Now, that's that in a nutshell. Which way you garden? The green way or the red way? Which way you keeping a watch in your mind, not outside? Not going out there, man, I did this, they don't shove my head right up that pastor's ass and cock-a-doodle-doo. Not saying you can't do anything, but you don't. That's just malarkey, okay? Now, it says it's probably from 5443. I'm not going to make it on all this. That word's this word.
Strong's G 5443. Phylakteries.
Okay. It's an offshoot or descendant of Jacob, the trickster, the heel grabber, this way. Not going to God. Israel. May God prevail. Huh? All right? Now, that word comes from 54, 53, and 5444. 53 is this word.
Strong's G 5453. Fool.
Okay?
Fool.
That's a verb. It means to produce, to be productive. Are you being productive in this red dumbass stuff? Or are you being productive in God? Laying this red stuff down. Facade or genuine piety inside your mind. Okay? Now, and the last one, 5444, is this word.
Strong's G 5444. Fula.
It's a leaf. Which leaves are you bringing? You're bringing for this red endemic leaves. It's not really because you're mature in the spirit. Or you agreeing with God and letting Him give the increase. And then that one comes right on down to 5443. I'm running out of time. That word.
Strong's G 5443.
Hit like, subscribe, and email.